If you're anything like me, I can bet that you probably don't like garden pests either. Once they show up on your plants, it's so hard to get rid of them. And so today I want to share one of my best secrets for keeping pests away, and that is preventing them altogether. So stick around because I'm going to show you what I love to do every year that helps tremendously with the pest problem. If you're new here, I'm Audrey from Audrey's Little Farm, and I help passion-driven people trailblaze their way to a life filled with happiness, plants, and chickens. Okay, so I know I mentioned that my favorite thing to do is prevent pests altogether. And you're likely wondering, is that really possible to really prevent the pests from ever showing up in your garden? And the truth is you cannot 100% prevent bugs from showing up. But there are things you can do that will help tremendously keep them away so that when they do show up, they're manageable. And the key word right there is manageable. When pests are manageable, they're very easy to stay on top of. One of the first things I like to do once pests do show up is just spray them off with a water hose. So when I go out to harvest my vegetables, or I go out to check on things in the morning and water and take care of just your regular garden tasks, I quickly check each of the plants, and if I start noticing any bugs, I just gently spray off the plants with the water. And this will help keep the bugs away, especially if you just see a few and you just kind of treat them every day or every other day. This is going to help a lot. But when it comes time to planting your garden, the very best thing you can do is plant beneficial plants that help deter the pests or attract beneficial insects. So one of my most favorite plants to do this with is planting marigolds. Marigolds are a great flower for deterring pests. They also bring beauty into your garden beds, and they will attract beneficial insects. And so I just plant them in between all of my plants, especially the ones that are more prone to pests, like your squashes and cucumbers and okra, all the things that really attract the aphids especially. And so then once you plant them in between all of your plants, you will notice a huge difference of the amount of pests that don't show up. I remember when I wasn't doing this and aphids seemed to take over all of my plants every year, and it would get to the point to where I just ended up ripping everything out. I didn't even try to kill the pests. And ever since I started planting marigolds in between all of my plants, I have hardly had any pests show up in my garden. And when I do, I just do like I mentioned earlier, and I just spray off the plants with water, and then every couple of days I just keep doing that. And then if I do have a little bit more of an issue, I will treat with some kind of pesticide, but I rarely have to. One thing I do like doing when I do have more of a pest problem is I sprinkle diatomaceous earth on my plants, and that's a natural way of killing the pests. But mostly I just plant the marigolds and I don't have pests. So I recommend to you this year, plant marigolds in between all of your plants. The best thing is that they're so easy to find. You can find them at almost all of your local garden centers because they're just a very popular, easy to grow flower. And if not, you can plant them by seed. They're just really easy. They're super great at keeping away pests, so I can't recommend them enough. And then watch your garden thrive pest-free, because nobody has time for pests. And I know I just mentioned planting your marigolds around plants that are especially prone to aphids, but there are other plants that aren't really prone to aphids that marigolds will not help out quite as much, and that is tomatoes. Tomatoes are not really prone to very many pests, but one of the pests they are prone to is spider mites. And last year I had a crazy infestation of spider mites, but I figured out ways to get rid of them and prevent them. And so be sure to head to this video right here so that if you experience a problem with spider mites, you can get rid of them too. And most of all, like we like doing, prevent them. So see you there.